So I stayed because of some effect. The work I do is surprisingly enough what gets me up out the bed some days. I know the impact that my teachers had on me.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of
Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It a Bean. Keeping It a Bean is a podcast that brings together culture, commentary, all over a cup of coffee. But in tonight's case, he has coffee. I have tea, because I'm not a nigga who's drinking tea at night. That's diabolical. But no judgment over here. Am I right?
I'm a nigga that works. I'm a nigga that works.
Wow. I feel like I too work.
Crazy.
That was crazy. I too am a nigga that works. Just.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm at your job right now. I just work later.
Oh. Yeah, I don't believe in that. I believe in boundaries. I don't work after hours. Sometimes I barely work during the hours. Let me get through this shit. If you're new here, my name is Marquise Davon, Keese, but never Mark. You already know. Please do not call me that. However, if you're returning to this here podcast, hello to niggas and niggas only. You already know what the vibes are. If you want to support this here podcast, you can do so one of two ways or both ways, however you want to get down, bisexual energy, whatever the case may be. You can do so by donating monetarily or investing in this black man monetarily. So that's on patreon.com/Marquise Davon. That's MarQuisedavon. Or, there you can donate at least $2 a month, which is $24 a year. If you want to, awesome. If you're just wasting your money on your Planet Fitness bill, you can come this way. You feel me? I appreciate you. All dollars count. And if you want to up that a little bit and do $10 a month, that's even more appreciated. But that allows me to invest in this platform a lot more, pay for this membership here at Rec Philly, make sure I can get at some point to be able to pay this awesome team that I have behind the camera, because your time is valuable and I appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's crazy.
when you choose the truth over the preference.
I feel like he slid that part in there where he appreciates y'all from the last one. I think that's why that was in here.
No, because
Is this a pot or a coat?
these episodes, bitch. Oh.
See what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back.
You've been triggered a couple times tonight, my guy.
Yeah, 2020.
Listen,
yeah.
you've been triggered a couple times at this point. It's crazy.
Yo, I might hear a familiar voice on the beam mic. Okay, that's crazy. All right, yeah. But you can also support me monetarily in a bunch of different ways as well. So if you want me to speak at your school, club, organization, do a workshop with anybody regarding anything I talk about on this podcast, feel free to also shoot me in DM. So across all social media, Marquise Davon, MarQuisedavon. But, money's tight. It's a little tough out here. And so if you want to support me non-monetarily, you can tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because word of mouth is still the most powerful form of marketing. But you can also make sure to share this podcast whenever you see a clip on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Please make sure that you're sharing it across. If there's something that you love on the podcast, please make sure that you are leaving a rate and review. That's how we show up on different algorithms. This is how we show up on different playlists. But it makes sure, if you're like, hey, if you like listening to this podcast, you might also like this podcast, right? And so that's what really helps podcasters build up this algorithm. That's how we get more visibility in that way. But you can also keep up the conversation by using the hashtag KIAB on all social media. So there, I can interact with you. Don't forget to @ me. Send this to clips that you think your friends are like, yo, I think you should listen to this conversation. This shit was dope as fuck. That's all super important. So I appreciate everybody who interacts with the show. And I want to give a huge shout out to a couple podcasts, Disruptors in the Podcast. It was really dope to be on your show and tell a little bit more about my story. So thank y'all for creating that space. So shout out to Joshua Meekins and also Amir Smith, dope-ass individuals to have on their show. Shout out to Olay, got to sit on her show and do Olay and Friends. We got to sit down and talk a little bit about, what's his face? Cam Newton's comments. Because that nigga's been going viral for some shit. But it's always dope to just kind of unpack with other black men and really talk around, what does it mean in this space? So thank you, Olay, for always creating that space as well. Other than that, those are some of the podcasts. So if I'm not on that week and you're like, yo, I want to get a little bit more Marquise, here's some other shows you can go to hear this wonderful voice. We out here. But also, if you see these lovely faces right now, that means you are watching on YouTube. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe, that notification bell. I drop on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. So please, if you are cleaning up on your Sunday, if you're like, yo, I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee with Marquise and keep it a bean, you can do that as well. So please make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, that notification bell, because that's also going to help this podcaster out over here. Other than that, that's done with that monologue shit. I gave you more than enough time to think around what the fuck your hot take is going to be. So I'm going to introduce this wonderful guest. This is, in my phone, he is Big Bro Brax. Okay? The kids know him as...
If you say it, I promise you, you will get hands and feet. And mind you, these hands is rated E for everybody.
I'll let y'all with that.
There we go.
The comments below. But not only is that his name, but this is one of my brothers. I got to work with this man for a couple of years. This is my breakfast buddy. We're going to the bodega getting our breakfast damn near every day.
Yes,
Yeah.
damn near.
First period.
Bruh, I'm so mad because I just had a flashback to when she really gave me that award. Bruh,
So we're gonna unpack a little bit, and I'm excited for this episode because we're gonna talk around one, how our friendship and brotherhood developed, being in the trenches and education together, and how that really shaped a lot of what we dealt with, but also the importance of finding community and your tribe in those spaces to really help you survive too. So I'm excited to be in that space with you. But before we get to that motherfucking conversation, we're going to keep it a bean today. And so keeping it a bean is a segment that is your personal hot take, pop culture, personal, nerd shit, pop, politics, whatever the fuck you want to talk about that you need to get off your chest. This is a space to do it. What are you keeping it a bean about today, good brother?
the best feeling is taking the shit on the clock.
Oh, wow.
See, we start talking about you on doing stuff at work. That's the best feeling. Take a shit while you get paid. That's first off. Second,
You had to find the right bathroom.
No. At this new job, every bathroom is the right bathroom.
Oh, wow. The bathroom's like that?
Immaculate in that joint.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
They different there. Oh, secondly, hey, Bel Air, I'm gonna need y'all to stop making so many messy choices because every single chance y'all got to be messy, y'all found a way to be messy.
Oh, you caught up on season 3? Dog. Because that...
Every chance they got to be messy, they decided to be messy. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to let her do this and get married. No, let's just try to... Boom. No. We're going to try to let that ring... No. Now he about to go pass out. He got it. What?
Yeah.
With the whole jazz... Not even jazz. Dude.
DeMarcus. No. I'll be messing his name up every time. Sorry, Skip. You're going to yell at me. So I also run a podcast called Heavy as a Crown, which is a Bel Air recap podcast. And I be fucking up that man's name every single time because I'm Team Jazz over here. But continue.
Will has been so messy.
He's been the most annoying character this season.
He has truly put himself in a situation to have 2 females literally ready to scrap because he don't know how to say, yeah, no, that's my shorty right there.
It's annoying. He's actually my least favorite character this season.
Nah, that's Amira. You're tripping.
Oh.
That's Amira. You're tripping. I'm sorry. I felt bad at the beginning, but it was just like,
dog,
oh, no, you crazy.
That little plot twist.
You crazy.
Where you said,
oh, you crazy.
Oh, your sister what? Oh, did you just say that?
Oh, you're crazy.
Interesting.
Oh, you're crazy.
We're trying to do this best without spoiling anything. Oh, my goodness. But no, I'm Aunt Viv Hive over here. That's my favorite.
No, that was the messiest part. I made a bet with my wife. I was like, yo, there's no way that they actually go through with it. There's no way they actually go through with it. There's no way. She was so certain. So certain. I was just like, they not about to do this to Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. This is not the Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv I grew up on.
Well,
I don't know who this is. Because they made Jeffrey a gangster in this joint. Aunt Viv is really big ballin'.
Right there.
And then Carlton is just a crack addict or something. I don't understand it.
He's struggling with addiction. Try again.
Cocaine,
it's crazy.
Listen.
Enough.
listen. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this.
Those are very different things.
I'm so sick of this.
Crack is definitely different than cocaine.
Very different.
We didn't have this with old Carlton. We had the dance. That's what we had. We didn't have these.
Well, that Carlton also dealt with social anxiety and isolation as well. They just dramatized this version.
That Carlton also tried to get Will expelled his first day of school.
And so I ain't gonna hold. I mean, how different are they? But I appreciate that because
this season has been digging under my skin, and I'm hating it, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm coming back for the mess. I'm annoyed, but they're dropping like 3 episodes of Pop. That's annoying me because I'm just like, I need time for this to marinate and for Twitter to discuss properly. Because I'm like, you can't, whatever. Anyways,
Oh, I let them build up.
it's stressful. I mean, we're gonna keep it in the realm of TV. If I'm gonna keep it a bean, Deliverance was wild. Did anybody else watch Deliverance? It's that John with Glenn Close, that Lee Daniels movie that just came out.
That's the new watch on Friday actually.
Oh,
before that's
did y'all watch? Did you also watch Something in the Black?
Something
that other Tyler Perry joint.
My man,
I did not watch it. I refuse.
I'm gonna say this without spoiling anything. Hardwick did a great job in that joint because I hated that man so much. I actually said, you know what? If I see him, hands will be thrown straight up from the rip.
Yep, no.
Because like, yo, every single move, it was just like, there's no way this is real.
It's a trash Tyler Perry film. But I'm one of those highbrow Negroes that he be talking around, so I can't critique his film without it being like, oh, he doesn't really bang with me. And so that's that genre of movie that I will hate watch, but I will also just be like, this is trash. And I could not give him that most recent watch. I can't do it to myself. So that's where we're at there.
This is what happens when you have no new shows.
Well, we watch anime.
Not my wife.
Oh. I don't have that problem right now. You're a good man. You're a good man. We're gonna move on.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, there are 3 married men in this room right now.
Right. And I know he feel my pain. I know he know exactly what it is.
It's 1 and 2.
Watch it.
No. My wife don't watch anime. My wife don't watch anime. All we got is Bel Air.
Bruh, I get it.
Oh my God. So wait, do y'all debate over Bel Air and the choices? No. Oh my God.
We just enjoy our time together.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Y'all are wonderful.
Listen, it's all agreements.
We have too many of our own debates for us to be debating over television.
Oh wait, television debates are my favorite thing. That was my favorite thing to do when I was in a relationship. Just debate over TV.
Did you like it? Yeah. Did you like it? Yeah.
Yo. I'm crying.
Yo.
Shalia, you're amazing. Don't forget that. Okay, top tier human over there.
Shout out to my baby.
Okay, dog. And so thank you for indulging in that piece as well. So we're gonna steep into this conversation. Did you get it?
You're so corny.
Did you get it?
You're so corny.
You steep your tea, bro.
You kept doing it too.
Like, we didn't know.
While staring at you.
That was crazy. That was really a pause. I'm not saying that.
I need you to be open, bro. Like, how you? What?
My guy, I love him to death, but there's been 4 pause moments that had not been said, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy right now.
Oh, so you steep your tea, so that when you let it marinate. So, like, if you steep into the conversation, you let the conversation marinate because the longer it steeps.
In my mind, you was teabagging too.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
I swear straight niggas be gayer than me. That might be my hot take.
You don't know how I identify. You just assume.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure people still question whether or not you're actually.
Dog, I had to talk about that on Sean's episode because the students said that when I was working at the old school, they said, you're DL straight, Mr. Richards. I said, the fuck is that? Well, you know, you're not like a lady. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dog, I hate it here. I hate it here.
I do identify as being heterosexual, but you didn't know that. You just know I was married. It's not good to assume.
You know, I ain't gonna hold, bro. There were telltale signs that you were straight.
I appreciate that.
No problem. You don't gotta appreciate it. It's nothing to be proud of. That's just, you want me to congratulate you for breathing? The fuck?
What's going on?
Ain't shit over here. You said thank you for
crazy.
calling me straight. Like, what are we talking about?
What I'm saying is just you identified that I was me. That's why I appreciate it. You didn't identify me as nothing else but who I am.
You were you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
I appreciate
This
you.
is new friendship. The rest of y'all, this pausing shit, gotta stop. Little fuckers, you can't do shit. You don't eat bananas in public. You can't eat glizzy. You can't do shit anymore. That's the problem now with some niggas because you just can't just be. because everything got to be paused.
The young niggas say no Diddy.
And we gotta
That's
stop
the
that
one.
too. And
Oh
we
my
gotta
God,
stop
I
that
can't.
too.
I
will put.
can't.
Nope, I will put that.
can't.
I will.
Ben started saying that, but you know,
I
said,
will-
you know, let me contain
I
myself.
will
Let me say
put that
pause
clip
instead
back
of no
up.
Diddy, because
No,
Yo.
we don't say no Diddy because no Diddy associates acts of homosexuality. That's not how we do it. I already posted a clip about this episode. Y'all reinforcing negative stereotypes about queer
acts of
people.
domestic violence.
Thank you. And not, but the problem is they moved the go. They're not even worried about the domestic violence piece. They're worried
Nah,
about the
they just
actual
worried.
like
Yeah.
gay shit. And I said, what are we talking about? I said, Diddy's doing terrible shit. And y'all said no Diddy because he's. Oh my God! Don't piss me off. Anyways, I'm gonna get off that rant. So do better. Do better. I expect more out of you niggas.
But I only used it.
No,
as,
you don't ever use it again. And we're off that.
Only used it. So
and
they
you see
could
how you're gonna continue to
understand.
talk.
Sorry, you say
I mean, honest with
you
bro,
said what?
We're gonna steep into this conversation now.
Okay.
So we are now back.
steep into the conversation, I guess.
Negroes, I'm tired.
Let's teabag into the conversation.
I was going to do it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna let it live.
I got too many. There's a lot of heterosexuality in this room right now. This is what it's like to be the minority and the minorities. I hate it here.
Ain't you used to this?
Damn. Yeah, that gotta be tough. Minorities among minorities. Oh my God.
Yeah, intersectionality is a bitch. Let me tell you. Okay. Anyways, we're back in this conversation.
Let's go, Brody.
How do you niggas? All right. So, no, but for real, like, one, I appreciate y'all. And like sitting in this space right now, I'm excited to like chat with you, bro, because you were the second person I met when I started at the job.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It just might be.
Yeah.
I think you met what? Fletch first?
No, it was actually Golden.
Wow. Really?
No, it was Fletcher.
I was about to say,
'Cause
if
Fletcher,
it was Golden first, that's a crazy intro to BL right there.
that's funny. It's a good time. It's a good time.
It's hilarious, but
Yeah.
like at the same time, that's a crazy intro.
Yeah.
Oof.
That time nonetheless. But I remember like going in there and when we were chatting, one, it's dope to enter a space of like, yo, there's so many other black men in this one space in itself. So just to see like the amount of us that were in one space, especially in the education space, that shit was important. But I remember the first time Braxton and I realized that we had something in common. It was This Is Us. He found out I had a recap podcast for This Is Us.
This was a show I started watching with my wife because we was like, yeah, we need to watch a couple shows together. We gotta find something.
Mm-hmm.
I swore I was going not like this, like reality TV. I don't know how many times as a grown black man I cried to This Is Us, and I will rewatch that show again
And again.
and probably cry to it again
Dog. Shout out
and
to
will
Lil
not
Yo.
care. Because when I say that's probably one of the realest shows,
Mhm.
and it touched some of the most like unspoken of topics, whether it be for black, white, does not matter. I love the way that they did that show in almost every facet,
Yeah.
except for one. If you was going to end his life not for some damn fucking dog, let it be for his kids, not the goddamn dog that she kept saying she didn't like. Continue on. I apologize.
If y'all watched This Is Us?
I never seen it.
I highly recommend.
I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend.
Now you might be in shambles by season 1, episode 16 or 18.
16.
16?
Don't
That was the most gut-wrenching episode of television I've ever watched in my life.
wait till they meet Deja.
And then there.
Mm.
So that's all I will say for anybody who's out here listening.
Just wait. Just wait till they meet Deja or. Oh.
Yep. So we don't got to get into that TV part because we going. All right, so we might have to come back to just do straight TV land at that point because we got a lot of hot takes about television.
Did we not make a full list of all the shows? Like, it was a solid 20, 25.
Oh, dog.
Easy. And I mean, like.
Yeah. A1 day one. So what I wanted to like lean into a little bit more for this conversation is like our experience as black male educators. And so like I know I didn't have a singular journey getting into education. I went to school for theater. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I did not go to school to teach. I said I ain't fucking with no kids. I don't like them. They smell. They're annoying. I don't like repeating myself. And then I found out I have a love for education. And so I wanted to like chat in this one because I don't think we get to just sit down and like peel the curtains back a little bit in terms of like what is that day-to-day experience like and how did we like stay in the trenches for as long as we did. And so you ended up working at a school you graduated from.
Yeah.
So what was your journey to get to BL?
All right. So the best way to explain it is honestly, I gotta kind of go directly after I got out of school. Really was looking for more so something in my career field. I had a bachelor's in communications journalism, emphasis in electronic media. I figured, you know what? I'm a nigga that loves sports. I love football, basketball, does not matter. I can be Stephen A. I can sit there and talk football and all that all day long. What? That's not a problem. End up finding out because I did basically, instead of internships, I did coaching. So I ended up coaching as a student assistant coach for Shippensburg for about 4 years. So that took up basically all of my time. When the players had meetings and practices, I was there. So that was my time when I was there at school. So I never really got that internship.
Yeah.
So when I left school finally, it was a lot harder to find a job in radio, in television, and all that type of stuff.
That was a reality for me too.
Without an internship.
Yeah.
So I'm working like odd jobs. I found like a little podcast, something similar to this, talking about football. Do that for about 2-3 years. But on that journey, I'm still working odd jobs. I got a call from the CEO of Boys Latin. Well, not even a call, but he hit me up on LinkedIn first. Let's start there. He hit me up on LinkedIn a couple days for my birthday in the summertime. Yeah. And he was just like, hey, man, seen that you graduated. Love that it sound like you're doing good things. Just want to chat with you for a minute. I'm like, first off, who is this? Because this is no way that the CEO of my old high school just randomly found me on LinkedIn. Like, that don't even make sense. But I ain't got nothing to lose. I just started a job at FedEx. I hated that job at FedEx so much. The first day they put me in Kensington. Why would you put me in Kensington on my first day? Oh, terrible, terrible day. I hate that. But end up contacting me back. End up getting a call from him, talking to him for a couple minutes, and he basically offered me 1 or 2 spots. Hey, either you can come join us basically for this college basically mentor program. Yeah. They wanted to start there at WL. Basically what Jeffrey did.
Yeah.
So I was going for that job or be a teacher resident, become a teacher. They were looking to have more black male teachers. There's not enough of us. I say, you know what? Why not? I'll go for both. Didn't get one, got the other. And honestly, it was pretty difficult to start because my first year was all virtual. Oh. My first year was COVID year.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to learn how to be a teacher, and there's no students in the building. I'm in the building. There's no students there. I'm sitting here trying to, okay, how do I write lesson plans? How do I actually manage a classroom? Yeah. How do I sit here and do this? Like, it was a lot that first year, especially the first half of the year. But by the second half, it was more of a, okay, I actually am going to do this, so what's the best way to go about it? Yeah. So I found my own resources. I went to people that I know, like, hey, I want to be a good teacher. I want to figure out how I can make my impact. Yeah. Because I seen teaching as coaching almost. Yeah. Like the same way I had a love for coaching and seeing people do better, seeing people grow in whatever aspect they're in, I had that same, at least, sense behind it when I came to teaching. Yeah. So not being able to see anything, not being able to actually even be around the kids and learn them. Energy, I didn't feel nothing. Yeah. I really was like, yo, after my first year teaching, I don't know if I'm going to do it.
Oh, I didn't realize you came into teaching during the pandemic year because that's when I became a lead teacher is during the pandemic year. Yeah. And I had to like learn virtually first and then had to transition into, what did it mean to teach in front of a group of students? And like virtually, I actually did not mind the virtual component. I was like, oh, I'm actually good at this. And I also understood like, oh, I'm watching my students also take care of family members and try to like learn at the same time. But the art and science of teaching looks very different when you're in front of kids because now you're just like, oh, there's a lot of reactions happening in this room right now. So what was it like for you to come back? What was it like for you to be in front of students for the first time?
So to start, I actually wasn't even in front of the students when it came to a classroom. My role as a teacher resident, they put a lot in there in that contract to allow me to be useful to them,
Yeah.
but still get what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I started off with dean work. That's why at one point in time, if you ask BL students from, let's say, 2021 to 2024, if you mention the name Braxton, they will tell you many stories about how I would be the person with about 15 phones in all my pockets, about another 15 in my bag because I'm confiscating phones. I'm telling young boys, hey, I need y'all in your uniform. Hey, I need you here in your classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they thought I was an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, they straight up thought I was the shittiest nigga ever.
Yeah.
They was like, fucking this nigga, all of this. Like,
Yeah.
come to find out, a couple months into, I'm like, yo, I'm really not this. I don't like being this. This is not my personality. But I need y'all to understand what it is, and this is my job that I'm doing.
And that's always, and I know we talked about this for long periods of time. Because one, as Black men who come into the space, we default into like, if we're teachers, we default into a nurturing space, which does not make sense for kids, right? Because they're just like, oh, no, I see you as an older brother, cousin, coach, mentor. I don't see you as somebody who can teach me, right? Mm-hmm. And then also the other thing that we compete with in education, especially as Black men, is like they push us into disciplinary roles. You don't want to exist like that all the time because that's a very different connection to Black boys and Black men that you have to exist in. Now, if they are interacting with you, it's punitive. It's never a time to actually build a connection, build a relationship. So you even came into a space where people knew you as a disciplinary. They didn't know you as, when I came in, I was like, oh, Braxton, cool as shit. I don't know what to tell you. Like, dope. But that piece is interesting. So when did you have that switch of just like, I don't know if I want to do this dean thing anymore? So
luckily, they never wanted me to stay there, but it was a necessity.
Yeah.
Almost. So I'm like, all right, I'll deal with it. I'll do it. Going further into the year, they started seeing all of the things I actually did during that COVID year, which I'm so grateful to a lot of people that COVID year. Mm-hmm. So the biology teacher, Ms. Farragon, really shout out to her. She's the person that gave me all my practice books. She's the one that started helping me on content, making sure I understand everything. And shout out to Colleen Smith. I know some people might not think you're the best at what you do. I know for a fact what you do, and you are crazy great. I'll tell her that now. Yeah. Crazy great. Hands down, the person that taught me how to actually prepare a lesson for students. And I mean a thorough lesson, to the point where I was sitting there writing the dialogue that I would actually say to these students with answers back from the students to make sure I can check for understanding. Like, I loved what I was taught. And another thing was, I was actually supposed to take over a class for a teacher that was supposed to be going out that first year. Ended up, they wanted an official teacher and things like that, but the teacher set me up and prepared me to take over her class for 2 months before she even left for maternity leave. So it was a little like a slap in the face, but I'm like, you know what? When my time comes, it's going to come. Ended up getting that in my second year. And that's when I was teaching Latin. I was teaching a little bit of English and composition. And students, when they see me in the classroom, they was like, oh, you really kind of chilling. You're not a when you were teaching English. You're not an asshole. Okay. Maybe we can chill with Brax. And I'm like, yo, I'm not that type of teacher. I'm a teacher that I'm going to be as honest as possible with you. I'm going to be a teacher that I kind of wanted to have, someone chill, someone semi like an older brother or big cousin, maybe even an unc, honestly. And
I'm tired of them calling me unc.
I'm unc all day. I hit my big 3-0. It is what it is. Nope. Listen, I hit the big 3-0. It is what it is. I'm standing on that unc status now. I'm cool with my unc status now, because all the people I used to call uncs, they old heads now. They super old heads now. Mm-hmm. They about to get the geriatric status, but I mean, it is what it is.
I've just accepted it at this point. You have no choice.
You got to. So
Be calling me Unc too.
Nephew.
Oh.
How you living?
nah, you still nephew. You still in, listen. You say you still in school. You nephew for I mean. Oh, you good.
Tommy.
It'd be 2 years. Tommy's crazy.
You don't know who nephew Tommy is. You're too young. He's a radio personality. I wouldn't call you Tommy. That's a real person.
Okay.
I wouldn't disrespect him.
No, because sometimes
No,
you gotta be wary of mixed allegations. They be coming at you. They be coming at you.
And we're back. I love that moment. That's great. You're welcome to be on a B mic whenever the hell you want, bro.
I wasn't offending. Like, no, he ain't know that.
He's all good.
It's okay. You gotta school him a little bit.
That's all good, dog. And so, I fucking love this podcast. I love doing what we do. You're such a great addition, bro. And so, I'm thinking around like some of the hardest parts of teaching, because especially coming into that role, like we're already combating like the disciplinary kind of role, but then also having to fight to gain respect from students to not just see us as just their older brother, just their older cousin, because we're actually not tasked with like, we're actually also tasked with like developing your intellect and your mind and the whole student. And I remember I was just like, dog, I hate the disciplinary action in terms of like how some of this space works. And for me, and Braxton knows, like I ain't
hated feeling like a babysitter more than a teacher.
Yes. And like when you feel like you are a babysitter more than you were a teacher, especially because I think COVID impacted us in a different way where students socially were not able to adapt in a space. So they're stunting from like a social standpoint, and we're getting kids during their most formative years in middle school. They lost out on 3 years of social cues. They lost out on years of understanding how dynamics work in the classroom, what respect looks like in the classroom. Motivation. And realizing like school doesn't feel like an end all be all for them. Going to college doesn't feel like a logical next step. So this investment does not feel as needed as it was for us growing up, where it was just like, oh, I'm making out the hood, I'm going to college. That's my way of getting out, right? And so like, I think we always sit in this tension of like, there's a difference of a teacher who taught pre-COVID versus a teacher who is dealing with students who are COVID impacted. Those are two different worlds that requires two different skill sets that I don't think anybody has necessarily. We're still navigating. Like, what does it mean to show up for a student? How do we build this motivation again? And recognizing like we can't put the blame on the kids, because that's something everybody's experienced, but especially during those developmental years. So what to you were some of like the toughest things around teaching in terms of COVID impacted students?
So I say this all the time. I tell my students, I can't teach you effort. I can teach you anything under the sun when it comes to biology. Mm-hmm. And even if I don't know it, I could go find that information for you.
And you know how to sit within and look for it.
I can't teach you effort, because effort is something that you have to put forth from you. Mm-hmm. It's something you have to want. And when I say there was many days, I wasn't like angry, like really mad. I truly understand what it meant to be disappointed in somebody. I truly understood what it meant to feel bad and feel sorry for someone because they're wasting their potential. All the things that some of my teachers told me when I was growing up, because I'm doing this thing that's wrong, but I'm still getting all these A's and B's. And they're like, yo, you about to waste your potential. I didn't understand what that truly meant until I seen it in kids that look like me and kids that grew up where I was from. Like a lot of kids from BL, they're from my hood, mm-hmm. or they're from where I was. And I'm like, yo, I literally was you. And you're wasting it. You're about to be out here, and in 10 years, I can still be coming here teaching, and I'm going to still see you in the same spot. You're never going to move. You're going to be stagnant because you have no motivation.
And I think we see those symptoms, and I want to sit here with that for a little bit, because these are real frustrations that we have as in the education space. Because in some part, it's difficult because we're like, dog, kids dealing with this is very different, right? And so there's one thing around like, all right, we're not putting this effort, but there's also a space of like, I struggle with putting so much onus on the child because us as adults need to, and again, we're as adults who are choosing to serve as children, like how do we encourage or reformulate like their love of education? I think that has been like the hardest part for me to figure out is like, how do I instill passion and understand like education is still a viable option without it feeling like if you don't do this, you're not going to get this right. But it is that feeling of like, dog, this is still important, right? And it's not important in terms of saying you need to go get your degree, you need to go do this is your logical next step. It's important for you to know how to navigate the world and understand how it works. Because something I've been trying to figure out is like so many kids now are not experiencing life. Like they don't know the stove is hot, right? But they are witnessing other people on their phones. Oh, that person burned themselves. But like they don't know what that actual feeling is, right? And so I'm noticing like dealing with such an anxious generation, it's like, oh, you actually struggle with having to do something on your own because part of it is how we are taught to teach kids. I think that's also part of it. So many kids are only taught to a test, and so you have to get the right answer or you're wrong, and we're gonna push you through anyways. But like, we're not teaching you to struggle with information. We're not teaching you that tension of like, I'm uncomfortable right now, but it doesn't feel fatal in this uncomfortability space. And I watch kids like I was like, oh, I can't read 2 straight pages and kids are comprehending what's happening in my English test. I have to break it down shorter and shorter and shorter. And so to me, I'm just like, part of it's a societal space of like attention spans aren't where they used to be. The pandemic impacted how we are in relationship to space with each other. But then also my priorities are completely shifted. Now I actually have to help family, right? Now I'm more worried around like, what is my immediate return? I can't think around and dream around a 4-year investment right now. Like so many kids are struggling with like, I want to invest in this, but my immediate duty is to family. And so I think around like our role as educators, as Black male educators, how have you kind of reckoned with this? Because I still think around it in different ways, and it burned me out for a bit. Like I was exhausted. I was not the best teacher I could be, and I did my best. But like I was like, dang, like I feel like I'm not doing my part. And so how do you reckon with that, and how do you stay motivated to stay in this space? Because I left the classroom, and you stayed.
So I stayed because of some effect. The work I do is surprisingly enough what gets me up out the bed some days. Mm-hmm. I know the impact that my teachers had on me.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of, and I'm going to just say it, I had a lot of Caucasian teachers, whole lot of them. But the few Black teachers, whether they male or female, I can tell you each one of their names to this day, and I'm talking their full names. Mm-hmm. I still, if I seen them right now to this day, I'm going to act like whatever kid I was when I was in that class.
Not they bring you back.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little example. I had Mrs. Abbott. Mm-hmm. Some of you might know Abbott Elementary. Mm-hmm. Listen, she probably was the one that inspired all of that. I tell you that she was that great of a teacher.
Yeah.
Joyce Abbott. I'll even say it. Yep. Joyce Abbott. That was my 6th grade teacher at Andrew Hamilton Elementary. When I say that lady showed me how to become a young man at a young age, and I will always appreciate that. It is refreshing to have that. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to look back on these things with such good memories, such good takeaways, such like, damn, I needed that. Mm-hmm. I had her. I had Miss Watson, my 9th grade science teacher. That's why I love biology. My 7th grade science teacher.
Yeah.
I had a teacher in 9th grade for biology. Dr. Nardotti. Anthony Nardotti was my guy. Pots and pans. This was a full-bred, like, Italian from South Philly. Came from, like, this man knew it. But he, even though he wasn't like us, he felt like us. Mm-hmm. Like, I should have just put a coat on him and he would have been fine in the hood type guy.
Yeah.
Like, and then I had my 10th grade chemistry teacher, BH, Brian Harrison. I'm telling you, I remember all my Black teachers because every single one of them either taught me something or showed me how to be a man.
Yeah.
And a Black man in a professional space where I'm successful. I'm doing what I got to do. Mm-hmm. I'm not just some dumbass in the street. Yeah. I'm not a nigga that's just out there selling. I'm not a nigga that's out there looking because, oh, I gotta play ball or I gotta play football to get out. I can do other shit and be good.
So you had possibility models of like what you could be.
I
right?
got lucky to have that.
Yeah.
I know plenty of niggas that never had that.
Yeah.
They don't even have the black females as a representation, as a good role model for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a very lucky person to have that.
Yeah.
So I want to take that luck that I had and continue to give it back.
Dog, yeah.
And again, I see myself in them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a little piece here, a little piece here. Hey, this kid is getting straight A's and B's, but he's a real quiet guy. But anytime he get in trouble, it's because he's about to fight.
Yeah.
Why is he about to fight? Because someone is saying something to him crazy, just like I was in high school. I had people say stuff crazy. I'm not a talker. If anything, I'm a pacifist. I'm only aggressive when I play football. That's it. Every other time, I'm chilling.
I'm going to rewind that clip
around.
back because off rip, if I would have called him the name, he already threatened to hit me. You felt you? Yeah. Go back to that beginning part of the episode. So something's not adding up. What's the truth, Braxton?
See, you are testing my patience right now. You are testing my patience. This is the difference between regular people seeing me and me having a conversation with who I consider a bro. And I mean like an actual brother. How do I say this? In my phone, his name is Bro Richards. I promise you on everything I love.
And
It literally
he's a big
says Bro
Brax.
Richards. Like, this is my guy, pots and pans, like since day one. Always had a great connection. And it was more of he was a little more intuitive. So my intuitiveness with the kids, my being able to, you know what, let me hear y'all out because I might not always be right. That's where I got that from. Because I was chill. I can kind of understand, but he really showed me how to do a lot of that just by being able to listen a little bit better to the kids and pick up on the little tendencies that they're not saying.
I actually did not know that. Here, I appreciate you, Brody. Because he taught me to kind of be a little bit more of a hard ass. I ain't gonna hold. Because I be assaulted with the kids.
So it worked out.
It balanced out.
Because
Because he be the one, yo, bro, kick them out the room. And I be like, but he's having a bad morning.
No, like
He said they gotta go.
Because my thing was, I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like I'm raising no bitch.
Yeah.
You are all young black men, and this world is going to come at you hard.
And that's funny because, like, my approach to teaching is a little bit different in that. Because I'm like, yeah, as young black men, but I actually refuse to call them young black men in my classroom. I was like, no, y'all are still boys. Because the world outside is going to treat you as young men. I want you to have an opportunity to still be a kid. And so I realized, like, that's where our worlds, like, hit. And we were just like, oh, no, like, I want kids in my room to feel like they're allowed to make a mistake because the rest of the world doesn't give them that opportunity, right? And so it's just like almost, especially because we're working with mostly all black boys, I'm like, dog, in my mind, I'm like, I just want you to be able to be a kid. I don't need you to be perfect. I just want you to try. I want you to find. And that's the quote at the top of my classroom every single day. I wrote that on the first day. It never leaves. And so like that, I think that is always like the hard part to figure out because we always, especially as black men, we go into space and we're like, what did I need as a kid? And then that's how we kind of approach our philosophy of teaching. So maybe, now I need somebody to take the shit out of me a little bit. And in my mind, I said, no, I just want somebody to listen. And I think that's the part that we had to find balance on of just like, when is the time to be stern? When is the time to allow space and grace? And I think that's it's some of the sauce that we're never going to figure out. We're never going to perfect because every kid is going to be different. But I think it's important because they didn't just see one type of black male educator in the space. They were able to see like, oh, no, like right now I might react to Braxton a little bit more than I react to Richards a little bit more. Maybe the students who are less like, no, I just need time to calm down. Because they already knew, yo, bro, so-and-so's acting up. Can they come relax in your room for a little bit? They knew like my room was a zen room for the kids to go because they were just like, I just need to calm down. Richards, he know there was a line out my room. Come get a hug.
And the crazy part is, I will come in there. I'm looking around like, all right, I know why you in here. I know why you in here. Why are you in here? You not supposed to be in here. You out, dog. You going? I promise you going.
Yeah.
And it was never I'm doing this from a place of, yeah, I'm just trying to be a dick. No, I still need you to understand. Yes, go to Richards where you need to be a little softer and a little more You need
I
some
ain't
help.
raising no bitches though. You feel
No,
me?
no. But you allowed them to be
Yes, no.
them. Me, I'm like, yo, you can do that, but it's a time and place.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Get yourself back, because at the end of the day, when I'm at work, I might want to break down one day in the middle of class. I can't do that. I gotta be, yo, let's get to this work. And when I go home and go to my wife,
like, I'm not having a good day today, y'all. So
then
we're
I
gonna
can do
listen to
that.
this playlist real quick.
I couldn't do that because I already showed them, at the end of the day, I'm going to always do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show y'all how to do what you got to do, even if you might not be feeling it.
Yeah.
And them days when they finally got to see, like, the little cracks, like,
Yep.
I had a toothache one week. Oh, my God. When I say the toothache was killing me to the point where I literally had my lights off in my room. I had nothing but Nearpods and, like, Kahoot games from them. I even let them have their phones out a little bit. I'm a teacher. Again, I take phones.
I don't.
I was so done. The students literally said, hey, yo, Brax, are you okay? And this was multiple days. They like, yo, do you need something? We can help you. Like, because they seen I was
kids
actually
know, like,
going through it. And they know I'm not going to ask y'all for nothing. I'm going to help y'all. If y'all do something good, I'm going to even get y'all something like lunch, something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if y'all earned it. But that.
I remember that. Because I think those are some of the funniest moments of working with kids is like when you have a difference in personality, they're just like something is off. They know I come in, how you living? Good morning. Da 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 da. I'm having a day. The first question I got, did you have your coffee this morning? Yes. Oh, so you're really just quiet today? They said, what's wrong? Are you okay? And they find any reason to just make you smile. They already knew how to get me. They brought me a Little Debbie's honey bun. And they were like, do you need a coffee? Are you okay? And they knew the jalapeno kettle chips or ginger ale, Canada Dry. Nothing else. They already knew like what to get me in order to make me feel better. So it's like, it's funny how kids are able to show their demonstration of care. And as much as like we worry and are having so much concern, I think the duality of like the students that we get to service is like, they are assholes. They are absolute assholes. But they are assholes who care. And I think that is like the best way to play like a Philly child.
That
it's
is
just
truly
like, I'm a bit on you, but nobody else can do that. Like call can't come from outside the house.
Somebody would have said something about my young bulls. What?
Oh, it's over. And I think that's the thing I love around like being able to teach in this space, and finding a community in that space. And I love like that's the world that our students get to live in. And I said possibility model because this is an opportunity for kids to see. Oh, I don't have to just be one way. There's a Richards, there's a Fletcher, there's a Braxton, there's a Henderson, there's a Golden. There's a variety of niggas in terms of like who I feel like I relate to the most. And by us being possibility models, this inherently gives permission to young Black boys to simply be. And they're just like, there's a teacher that they can feel like they go to because they knew going to my room, we was watching Young Justice. That's how I ended up building my connections in my classroom. They came for lunch. They said, oh, he watches Young Justice? Oh, we going in his room. And I was stuck at that point. Mind you, my mentees are students I never taught. Energy.
So if you cannot see, this is Zoro from One Piece. Full Ashura mode. This is what helped me with the young bulls.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they was like, hey, yo.
He's about that.
You what? And then I would say, oh, yeah, I watched all 1100, yada, yada.
Yep.
No, you didn't. I started saying stuff. They like, oh, you read it, huh? Oh, you don't watch, you read. Yeah.
The mangas, bro.
Yeah. I'm old school. I'm from the era of I had to go on YouTube and clip together like 13 different parts to be able to watch one episode of a show. Because I really wanted to watch it.
You remember One Manga or the site to go watch manga online? Dog, you couldn't tell me nothing. I would go home every week to catch up on new Naruto or Bleach. You could not tell me
I read manhwas now. Like I'm one of them. Like
yeah.
Solo Leveling.
Oh, Solo Leveling, top tier.
I've actually read the entire thing.
Oh, don't say nothing. Don't fuck it up for me. Anyways, nerd shit. So we gonna get into it later.
Sung Drippy Woo. That's all I'm gonna say. Sung Drippy Woo.
I know what they talking about, but I'm not caught up. So it's like I can't.
I'm gonna be honest. There's no way you're caught up as much as I am. When I said I am a nerd, I meant it from my heart. I'm able to relate to it. Yo, listen.
I'm over here like
I've listen. I'm gonna tell you how much of a nerd I am and how crazy my childhood was to get to this point to be able to relate to these kids. I played football, I played hockey, I played baseball. The only sport other than cross country and track, I didn't do was basketball. I put it like that. I did almost every other sport. Now, I played 4 different instruments as a kid. I did 4 different plays, like actual plays and musicals as a child.
What was the instruments, brother?
So I played the baritone, I played the cello, I played the clarinet, and I played the flute.
Shut up. I played cello for 9.5 years, bro.
I played the viola.
Oh, we some string instruments over here?
Hey, we got a little.
Oh, it's not a quartet. We right in it. Oh,
yes.
Dog, what?
Hold.
You could not tell me not that cello. I did cello for 9.5 years, and I played.
Also did plays as well. The first play I ever did was a Little Shop of Horror.
Shut up.
The Wiz and the Lion King.
Oh, I did.
Those are my first 2.
Footloose, Camp Rock, In the Heights,
Ooh.
and then I did 4 or 5 other plays in college.
I did talent shows as a kid. How do I say this nicely? I was one of them kids, like, I actually have comics still to this day. I had, like, a nice stack like this. I donated to BL because I was like, yo, y'all actually building your own comics. Let me give y'all some resources.
I remember that club. That was dope. Yeah.
So I've done that. I read comics. I actually, like, read comics. I got some in the plastic that I'm never taking out.
That is really dope.
Something old school for you. I used to have a subscription to Nickelodeon magazine.
Yes. Bro, I still got some orange cassettes at my grandma's house.
Dog,
I still got orange cassettes at my grandma's house.
Orange Rugrats cassette?
Yeah. Oh,
dog.
my God.
Nah, that first Rugrats movie was, that boy hated Bill. He hated Bill.
Every time.
Dog.
Yo.
Oh,
Can
man.
I say something real quick?
Like,
good.
I seen something funny online that was like, real niggas cry when Chucky didn't have a mom to dance with. Real niggas.
Where is
That might have been my first time being in my feels watching a movie. Like,
Dog, I cried. I cried.
That was a hurt piece when Chucky didn't have a mom to dance with.
Oh, my gosh. That was a throwback.
You don't have to do that.
You didn't have to do that.
I felt that.
I know.
I felt that one.
That
Yo.
was great.
Oh.
I got y'all just inspired a couple extra episodes. Yeah, y'all niggas coming back. Bro, like, one, thank you for sitting on this conversation with me. It's not going to be the first nor the last time that we're going to be in this conversation. And thank you just for, one, teaching me when I got to BL and being able to work with you and all the stuff that we've been able to do. I miss my breakfast buddy, so I'm happy. I'm happy that you're back in North Philly. Okay,
Bro, I'm not even eating
you.
breakfast these days. Like, I came here today from a full day at Crystal Ray, no breakfast. I'm literally surviving off of 4 cups of coffee.
I'm gonna have to cut you out after this, but before we get there, just because I care, not because I want to. Okay, but no, dog, I appreciate this conversation because it shows the power of, like, how education can impact people, but also how representation can still impact and have a positive impact. Though we may not have all the answers as educators, as Black men, it is still important that we continue to just simply show up how we show up and continue to always learn from one another as well. So, one, thank you for always keeping me, I got to stay on my toes with you niggas at the same time. You understand? It was pure jokes in that school. And that's, yeah, we're going to wait for Henderson for that one because pure nonsense.
Oh, my God. The dunk contest.
Oh, so we're going to get into it. Before we head out, good brother, let the people know where they can find you.
So I'm not a big social media person,
He's
but
not, I said do it anyways.
Yo_Brax, that's my IG. That's probably the only one I'm really on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big poster on TikTok, but if you got some funny Jones, send them Jones my way. That is my life. I'm sitting here just scrolling along. That's what it is. If I'm not actually doing something with football or work or, spending time with my wife, I'm scrolling on TikTok or watching my shows. That's my life now, and it's peaceful.
Well, brain rot for you.
Listen. My life is peaceful. I love my life. I love my wife, and bro, I'm up to like 1 o'clock in the morning just.
Dog, what?
And it's so bad.
That's so
it's
bad.
so bad.
Listen, I'm 15 minutes past my bedtime. I be sad on recorded nights because I just be like, I'm an old man.
Brax, is your wife like my wife? Like, my wife go to bed kind of like early, so now I just be up like
10:30, 11 o'clock. By the time I get home, I'm going to eat. I'm going to take my dog out. And, bro, I promise you.
We see each other.
I promise you we're going to be solid. Oh, yes.
Dog.
Listen, I'm sorry, baby. I'm putting you out here. 10:30, 11 o'clock is bedtime.
she go to
Bedtime.
bed, I want to say for the last couple days, it's been me and the new man.
Bruh, I got NCAA. My road to glory is infamous right now.
Hey, I'm a 3-time Heisman winner.
Three-time national champion.
Four-time.
He said,
Wait.
I want to brag.
Ohio State
Michigan. We gonna talk?
and LSU.
All Michigan.